Fortnite season is coming to an end, so to end off the season, we are going to be making a tier list from everything from this season. The wings, since it's such a big hitbox, unless you're flying super close to the ground, you're gonna get beamed out of the sky. And the starting animation where you kind of jump up and go poof, that kind of sucks because you're super high in the air and everyone's just gonna beam you out of the sky. I've seen some crazy clips of people hitting snipes on people like using the wings, but they are still good items, so I'm gonna put it at B. Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt's interesting because if we were doing this a week into the season, I would say yes, the Thunderbolt's easy S tier because it goes through builds, does a lot of damage, but it's not. It got heavy nerfed, like crazy nerfed, because it can't go through builds anymore. If you just kind of spam build everywhere, you won't get damaged. I mean, which kind of sucks because I think that's like the Thunderbolt's best thing, is just breaking down builds and tearing people apart pretty much, because it just shreds people through builds. But now that they took that away, I think it's more like an A tier item, because I mean you can still hit people through builds, it's just not as effective anymore, which I guess is good. But I think for the nerf, they should have just nerfed the damage and kept the ability to go through builds. Chains of Hades, people are gonna hate me for this, but I think the Chains of Hades are actually like really good. I mean, they just shred through builds, and they're super good in like early game when you land, because they do a lot of damage and you just kind of start spinning them around, then everyone around you just gets destroyed. They do actually a lot more damage than people think, and they're super fun during Floor is Lava. I really like doing that. And this tier list is kind of just judged off of how fun the items were. Like, not necessarily how good they were, but just how much they brought to the game, you know? So Chains of Hades, honestly, probably A tier. Well, they're probably a B tier. They're not quite there, but they were good. Now we have all the POIs. Mount Olympus. Okay. Mount Olympus, best drop spot on the map right now. But Mount Olympus is really good drop spot. It just has a lot of good loot, and it has those like mythic god chests that release all the good stuff, all that. So it gives you all that, and it has a lot of good loot, and it's just a fun place to like fight in. There's not a lot of things that like stop you from building, but it's also not just an open place like this one. So for that, Mount Olympus is going straight into S tier. Yep, I think it's an S tier place, just S tier thing in the game. Oh, also, I forgot to go over the boss that you get. Zeus's medallion is really good. I love the aspect of speed. I think it's super underrated, but it's really good for fighting. Now, on the other hand, Brawler's Battleground. Yeah, I'm not joking. It's bland. It's just a worse Mount Olympus with a worse boss who has the worst medallion out of all of them. I mean, I don't get it. Like, yeah, I get it boosts long range weapons, but it's just bad. And I guess, to be fair, the argument could be made that it's so bad since no one goes there, you could get all the loot in a POI, but it's not worth it, honestly. There's not a lot of loot. It's super small for a POI. I think it shouldn't have been a named location. Like, sometimes bosses can spawn at non-named locations, which that's fine. If they still want to put areas there, that's fine. But it's not good enough to be a POI in it. So let's see, Grimgate. I love Grimgate. I think it's so fun to just go there, and the boss is amazing. The Cerberus boss, the Cerberus boss, best mythic in the game, second best medallion. The first best is the Hades one. So I think with that already makes it at least an A tier, but it's also just kind of a cool place to fight in. The water that gives you the jump speed boost thing, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, that one. So I think I'm gonna keep it at A tier, not quite S tier, because I think it is a little bit bland sometimes, but I think its counterpart, the Underworld, is a B tier. Now hear me out. The boss and the mythic, the medallion is a little bit better than the Grimgate one, but the mythic is like 2 stages worse than the mythic from Grimgate. which I just think that like deserves a B tier, considering it's pretty much the same thing, but with just a tad bit more loot than Grimgate, which I feel like they should have added more of those like god chests. All right, I'm actually gonna reorder this. The Avatar pack, like everything to do with Avatar, like the Avatar collaboration as a whole. You guys are gonna hate me for this one, but ooh. Now let me explain myself. What the Avatar collab did is it took away all of these three. Took away the Thunderbolt, the Wings, and the Chains of Hades. Which is weird because those are the three items that made this season really good, I think. I mean, sure, there's all the other stuff, but those are the three items that fit with the theme. That's like if you were in the Marvel season and they took away all the Marvel mythics. That doesn't make sense. These are like the front runners of this season. That doesn't make sense to take them away. And they took them away for a long time. Like, it wasn't even just for a little bit, for like a week. They took them away for a long time. It felt like they were just taking away 3 weeks of this season. Just poof, gone into the distance. Which sucks. I liked the skins that came with it, which is why it's not an F tier. And also, maybe the skins are good enough to carry it up here. And the mythics were cool, so yeah, it's C tier. But overall, it's kind of... On the other end, the mythics, we're just rating them as like just mythics by themselves. Not having anything to do with how they like change the game. Alright. So, the Earthbending mythic, in my opinion, well, it's actually... Earthbending was the one where you could put up the stone wall and throw the rocks. Firebending was the one where you did the kicks and the punches and the flips. Airbending was amazing. Mobility. And waterbending, you healed in water and you shoot out your little Earthbending, I think, it's not the worst one, but it wasn't great. Like, it's never worth carrying, so it's kind of a D tier item. Firebending sucked. Just straight up sucked. Unless you could like corner somebody in like builds, if you boxed them and then went in with the firebending, maybe you could kill them then. But then again, they're just gonna like kind of pew 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 spray you down and you're gonna be poof, gone. Easy S tier. That was the best mobility we've ever had. I mean, it was like pretty much, it was faster than some cars. Like, I think it was similar speed to a car, which is crazy because that's infinite. You just kind of poof and then down. Yeah, I loved it. It was amazing. Not taking fall damage, awesome. Going super fast and going up mountains, it was really good. Waterbending, decent. That's the first one we got. It's nice you could heal in water, and it actually did a lot of damage, but the aiming mechanics were kind of a little bit sad. That's kind of, it was a good mythic. Overall, B tier. Like, upper half of everything, but not great. Alright, now we're going through the battle pass skins, and then we'll get to the guns. So, Cerberus, I said it right that time. Cerberus is a really good tier 1 skin. I like that they didn't make the tier 1 skin something silly and forgettable. He's a really cool skin. For that, he's an A tier skin. He's a little bit thick, and the dogs on his shoulders are kind of weird. I get that's how they're doing the 3-headed dog thing, but I wish they would have just given him 3 heads. I mean, they've done stuff like that before. Hades. Okay. I don't really get their thought process with Hades and Zeus. Don't get me wrong. They're both S and A tier skins. Don't get why Hades is the tier 100 skin. I mean, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Zeus is the main guy. You think Greek mythology, you think Zeus. You think Greek mythology, you don't think Hades. I mean, he's the big bad guy, but it's just... I mean, sorry. Hades is the big bad guy of Greek mythology, normally. Zeus is kind of the bad guy in Fortnite's Greek mythology right now. Which is kind of crazy how they did that. And I get kind of what they were doing. They did this with Aphrodites and Medusa and Artemis and everyone except Zeus and Hades. They took their own approach, which sometimes it worked out, like Artemis. Like, it worked out with Artemis, it worked out with Zeus, it worked out with Hades. But on the other hand, you have Aphrodites and Medusa, which weren't doing great. But Hades Styles overall is a S tier skin. I love his emote, how he like turns into a more badass version. But I don't get why he's tier 100, but I'm not gonna take that away from him. Zeus, he would be S tier if he didn't have those damn pants. Am I the only one who gets so upset by him just having generic camo Nike pants? Like, am I the only one who gets so mad about that? It just doesn't make sense. I get they're trying to go with something different, like more modern Greek mythology bosses, but why the generic Nike pants? I mean, it is so basic. This one's a little bit cooler. This one is good. This main style, really good. Like, where it's kind of, he still has like normal pants, but they're like black. They're like a kind of military grade outfit pants. Little tangent aside. All right, Aphrodite's. I don't like the approach they took. I think they tried to go with something different, and they didn't really get it. The skin's good, and her edit style is really cool, but they just didn't really. It doesn't look like Aphrodite's. This is what Aphrodite's looks like normally. And this is the Fortnite version. It just doesn't really click. It just doesn't look like how Aphrodite's, I think, how everyone pictured her to look. Which, you know, isn't always a bad thing. Especially, like, if you execute it well. And they're like, oh, this is what we should, like, this is how Aphrodite should have looked the whole time. But, no, it doesn't look good. It doesn't fit Aphrodite's. Artemis, though, complete opposite. Nobody really ever pictures Artemis looking like that. But Aphrodite's is a cool skin. I like the galaxy hair, the galaxy bow, the emote. I love the emote. The whole thing's really good. Hence the S tier. Medusa. Again, they tried to take a different approach by not doing green. And I'm one of the few people that actually likes the purple. I think the purple Medusa looks really good. It doesn't look too good. The side part looks kind of ugly. So, B tier. Actually, no, she's not as bad as Aphrodite's. But Aphrodite's might actually be... No. I won't be mean. Aphrodite's is C tier. Medusa's B tier. Korra. People were going to riot when they figured out that Korra was going to be the secret skin. It doesn't make sense to me. You have all these super cool Greek mythology characters and Korra from Avatar. What? That doesn't make sense. That's kind of, you know, it doesn't fit. It should have been, what it should have been is some other Greek god. But it is a cool skin, so I'm going to give her C tier. But because of what it is, Fortnite, can you move, please? But because of it being a secret skin, it just doesn't make sense to me. Alright, guns. This is the last thing, going over the guns. The new AR. I actually really like it. I think it's an A tier. Really solid AR. The recoil's a little bit too much. This gun was supposed to end the scary reign of terror that the Frenzy Auto shotgun has put over us all. Anyone who doesn't use it knows the pain of just some little kid grabbing their Frenzy Auto. It's so annoying. And don't get me wrong, the hammer pump's better if you have materials and, you know, you can time your shots with the materials, build boxes, all that. But if you don't, and you're landing off spawn and you get a hammer pump, but they get a Frenzy Auto, you are going to lose. Which sucks. And I thought, dang, this gun's gonna save us. This gun's gonna be the one that is the perfect balance. I thought it was gonna work like how the lever action did, where it does almost the same amount of damage as a pump shotgun, but it has a faster fire rate. And you know, maybe it could have gotten there if it had a little bit more damage. But 3 shots? 3? Really? That's a little bit low. Don't get me wrong, it's a good gun, and especially if you get the attachment on it. Actually, if you get the attachment, it's an A tier gun, borderline S tier. But if you don't, it's a B tier gun. And I gotta judge most of these. Well, I think because of those attachments, it's A tier. And the Mythic's so good. It has enough damage to be like S tier. New SMG, womp womp. Too much recoil. It's good. It's good. It's actually good enough to be in D tier, I think. But it has too much recoil for me. So this one's interesting. You ever love this gun or you hate it? I am on the second option. I don't enjoy this gun. And I get that it's, you know, easier to hit shots with, but it's a sniper that can't one-shot headshot. And, you know, when they said they were going to do another DMR, I thought, oh, this is going to suck. People are going to hate it. But some people liked it. Actually, a lot more people liked this one than any other DMR. You guys remember some of the old trash DMRs we used to have in Chapter 3 and Chapter 4? Oh, man, those were horrible. This one was good, though. And I can't deny it's good. I just do not enjoy using it. Alright, this is our final tier list for the season. If you want to see if things Fortnite changed that we didn't like, click on this video here. Thank you very much for watching.